Hello, Jason.
Hey, Ben. How you been?
Not bad, not bad. I was the past week 3 days on PTO. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you do anything fun?
Not really, not really. I was with my son in Germany because my son is using a prosthetic leg, and in Spain we didn't find an expert in those kind of prosthetics. So we are going to Germany, and he's a growing child. So every year, more or less, we have to change and take measurements, test the new prosthetics, and so on. And we went there just in the clinic the whole day, like doing tests. But I mean, was good because the new prosthetics looks good. So yeah. And on Thursday, I was speaking in a conference, so most of the week I didn't took care of my duties in the community. So Friday was like busy, but yeah, I'm back.
Cool.
And what about you? How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I don't know if you know, I coach gymnastics in my spare time, and the team that I coach had their state championship meet this weekend. So
How'd they do?
they did okay. They had I started working with this group pretty late, and so they had a long way to go. So we didn't place this year, but they improved a ton over the season. So that's all you can ask for, right?
And just being part of the competition is part of the learning. Seeing how other teams do, face together when you win, when you lose, and be prepared for the next year. So yeah, it's part of the path.
Yeah. They grow so much from those competitions, no matter where they place. Yeah.
Hello, Juan, Agnives, welcome.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Hi.
Good.
Okay, let's wait 1 minute more or to see if someone else join. I like your virtual background, Juan. Is that virtual or is real?
It's actually not virtual, it's real, which makes it look.
Yeah. I tried to make a joke in English. I have to improve. So just was irony. My wife tell me all the time that I need to avoid jokes in English because I'm not good at that. But I'm trying from time to time to say if there is kind of improvement, but it seems that not.
There's often a lot of
Well,
cultural
if you do jokes
context
in
jokes.
Spanish, I'll get it. At least one person in this room.
Okay, so let's start. Are you okay, everyone? Ben said that he will join later, so let's start. I'm going to share my screen. As always, just a quick reminder about the etiquette of the meeting. We are going to record this session to share it with the community. And we encourage everyone to challenge any language or behavior that is harmful or not inclusive. We look forward for everyone to feel empowered to participate. If we are not speaking, we'll try to be on mute. And if someone wants to speak, we'll try to use their Zoom reactions. And finally, we are following our code of conduct. Something new for this meeting, in the past one, we agreed in start asking if we are open to share it in YouTube. So if you agree, thumbs up, and tomorrow I will share this video in YouTube. So on my side, I'm okay. So cool. Let's take a look to today's agenda. Let me make this bigger. 1 second. Is that size okay? Okay. First, let's review the action items for past week. What happened with past week? I didn't update the issue with the notes and the recording. I was in this trip with my son, and I didn't have time for that. We have what you can do is, instead of reviewing the action items, is just a quick review of the topics we discussed. We have a long discussion about the consensus process. If I'm not mistaken, we didn't took any note about any action item about that, so it's an ongoing discussion. We have another discussion about identifying the places where when we are mentioning unknown keywords to make the people aware that this is not going to be longer support. And again, Austin shared an update about his approach for this and commented about the use case document, but I still have to see again the recording. So yeah, now he said that he will be updating the document, but my memory is not as good, so I will update the notes tomorrow. And Greg, in the end of the session, provided another update about the status of the issue. I think that we didn't capture any action item, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'll review the recordings, but I don't know what you think.
There was no action from it. I just wanted to provide a status on it. But that issue seems to have gone, or the discussion rather, seems to have gone rather cold, aside from some publicity on Hacker News, which was not very fruitful, but it did have a couple gems in it. Maybe later we can discuss some of the options that are listed there if we still have time at the end. But I think I want to get more input from some wider people. I don't know. It seems like we've. I'll come back to that at the end.
Can I make a question?
Yep.
Greg? How the article ended up in Hacker News? So
I have no clue. I have no clue. Yesterday I saw a tweet from some JavaScript Twitter account. I retweeted that. It was basically a copy of the tweet that you sent out, Ben, or that I guess Ben sent out. But yeah, it was basically the same thing. And then so I saw that yesterday. I retweeted that, and then this morning I woke up to Jason's message about it being in Hacker News.
Anyways,
Yeah, I saw it in the Slack Twitter feed.
Great. So the participation is huge every time that happens. So yeah, not as I mean, quantitative. Qualitative is other thing, but
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen again to see what we have in the agenda. Okay, I added 2 items, so I think we will have time for going back to the discussion about what the people is sharing in Hacker News. So first, I will love to make an update about Google Summer of Code application, because a lot of things happened the past week, but I was out, so I wasn't able to provide enough context to you, Jason and Julian, about how was our collaboration or the start of our collaboration with the Postman application. And during the week, a lot of contributors were asking about the project, and we didn't have a plan for replying properly. I mean, there was not plan needed, just welcoming everyone and provide some initial resources, but I didn't enable or provide you minimal information, so my apologies for that. But we are in better situation this week. So what I did, give me 1 second. I'm going to show you what I have done for this. 1 sec. Basically, I created a channel for mentors collaboration for the moment. And as soon as we are aligned, I will update all the people that is interested in the projects. That if we are okay, probably will be tomorrow. So first, we have a second mentor for every project. Sorry for the size of the fonts, but I don't know how to make this bigger in Slack. Anyway, so to collaborate with Julian, we have Pranav Singhal that is already invited to this channel, and I hope to have an intro session with everyone during the week if we are available. Pranav is going to collaborate with Julian, and with you, Jason, Argia, Saha. Both have previous experience as mentors. The only thing is every project needs to align in how they are going to manage the collaboration with the contributor and see what tasks will be splitted or shared. But there is plenty of time for that, because the applications start in April 4th, and we will have a full month to work on that. Okay, so we have plenty of time. Next steps. So there will be a new repository. Boti already has his own repository, and Jason, in your case, the contributor, what you shared in the chat this morning, today, they will create their own repo. So this is already done. We will provide more clarifications if required in the issues. I will love to conduct a kickoff office hours in the end of the week if we have time. If not, probably Monday, to welcome everyone and capture questions about the process in the overall aspect of the process. And if some of the mentors are there, maybe take some questions about every project. This is important, having kind of initial task for people to be able to show their skills. In Boti, I think that there is something already, but I have to check with Julian. And as we discussed today, Jason, you will be preparing something. So yeah. And this is not the only thing we will receive from contributors, because they will need to prepare a full application document that is in the end the big piece of the validation or selection process. The contribution plus the initial task that they will be working on, plus the discussions and meetings that we can have before the application start. The deadline for contributors to apply is the process for application starts on March 20th and ends April 4th. So we have through 2 or 3 weeks for this process for contributors to ask, analyze, research, and send their tasks. And this is like the first step. As soon as this process of the contributors applying, we selecting what are the contributors and everything, and we provide the final list of selected people, the real coding will start May 29th, so 2 months still for that date.
I have a question.
Go
I
ahead,
have a
Jason.
question about selecting contributors. Is there going to be like, is there going to be like one per project, or will we select multiples, or how does that work?
Now, what Jan shared in the Postman channel is just one contributor by project, but I can double check with him because I didn't have a real conversation. I just took all the information I found in the channel and in the Postman documentation and put everything together. So I can double check. If you think that it can be 2 different contributors or more, I can check.
I mean, it's not important to me either way, but I think it's nice for people to work as a team rather than just individuals.
No, I'm going to take it as an action for me to check with Jan and the rest of the Postman team, and I'll update the team tomorrow. The only thing is probably it will require more time from a mentor perspective, but I mean, I'm not including the list as mentor, and I can join in the efforts. Probably not, I'm not going to be super helpful with the code reviews, but at least following up with the process and other kind of removing impediments from the contributors, I can help. So depending on what Jan said, probably I will raise my hand for join the mentors list. Any question for the moment? Okay, my plan is provide an update tomorrow to everyone in the 2 issues we have. Share this approach. I mean, adapting the content for everyone, be aware about what is next. I will try to invite the contributors to our channel, the one that we have in our Slack server, because I mean, I think this is the right place for having discussion and help contributors to start engaging with the other part of the community, the expert that we have there. And probably I will love to build a list of people that is interested on the projects. The information is already on GitHub, but I saw other organizations creating a form for people apply, like they are really interested in the project. I don't know if it makes sense for us because the people that is asking, I think that is the one that is interested. But yeah, something that we have to decide. But this week is going to be really dynamic, taking steps to progress with the application. So I don't think that it will help so much. So if someone has an idea about creating this form for people, like providing more details at this point. Okay. The last information that I would love to share again about this is the application template. This is what I'm suggesting the people to send to the Google Summer of Code platform when they apply. Describe himself like academic studies, if they have working experience, if they were involved in internships, skills and that will be related to this goal, experience in open source projects, if possible linking to pull requests or code samples, their view about the chosen project, and information about availability, or things that can be affecting their ability, like class, exams, holidays, other commitments. I think that with this can be enough. I saw other organizations asking for a resume or something, but I think that it's better let them to describe in a free format instead of like the typical resume stuff. Okay. Okay, so in the end, what we will use to take the decision is this application template, the issue that they will be working before the application, and the time that we will share together these weeks before the application, engaging in the community, in the office hours that I will create for this. Before going to the topic, any question? Okay. The other topic I included in the agenda is do together an update about what is the status of the charter, because there has been a lot of discussions and content include. I thought in the end of the week, I mean, I was reading too fast the messages and everything, so I thought that we were very close to finalize the charter, but there is still work to do. And I think that at least for me will be helpful if we have a quick update about what is the current status and what are the things that are still pending, just to try to have all of us the same focus in trying to, I mean, to progress as much as possible. And for this, Ben, I don't know if you are available to make a quick update to see what are the pending items, so we can focus on our feedback or contributions.
Yeah, thank you, Benjamin. So I've been continuing with the charter work and taking on board feedback. I would have liked some more feedback, but actually the feedback I have had has been high quality, and I've had changes to make based on that feedback. I have opened a pull request which is still in draft on the community repo, which is pull request number 325, and I am posting all of my work so far on that pull request as it happens. And I will circulate that wider once I believe the charter work is complete, including integrating changes based on feedback. In terms of the areas that I believe are left to work on, I believe there is still work to be done on section 1.1, which is determining what's in scope for the project. Section 4, which details the roles and responsibilities, and section 4.2, which is the decision making and voting process, which is a huge chunk of the governance. So I'm continuing to work on that. If there are any things which you have feedback on which fall outside of those 3 sections, please also include them either on the discussion, which is linked in the agenda, or as feedback on that PR so far, because I'm considering those sections concluded unless I get any more feedback. Yeah, feel free to put them on there or to reach out to me directly, preferably out there in the open for other people to see and encourage other people to comment and add their thoughts as well. I guess at this point I'll take any questions or open the floor for discussion on that charter work.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Yeah, super helpful for me. I left a comment about roles and responsibilities because we are focusing in the steering committee or the committee, but probably we can add some information about contributors and maintainers or whatever is the naming that we will use. So I left some comments in the pull request. I can add it to the discussion too, but I mean, not too much information, at least have some high level content.
Yeah, I did have a look at the definitions and privileges that the ASIN KPI charter provided. I think for JSON schema, it's probably something we won't look to do in quite so much detail initially and look to revise it at a later point, particularly as we haven't decided exactly how we're going to handle or what requirements we're going to place on code related repositories within the GitHub organization. And that's something I think we need to discuss and work out. And you know, once we think about those things and determine what the requirements are and how we want to proceed with them, then we can define what those roles and responsibilities will look like for having code related repositories. But at the moment, yeah, we'll have to decide whether there are any sub responsibilities that we want to specifically ascribe people, and maybe we do that as they arise, and that might be that we delegate that to the governance document rather than the main charter initially, at least.
Yeah, that sounds great for me. Yeah, makes sense. Any comment before progressing with the agenda? Okay. We have a lot of time, Greg. So if you want to take the discussion about the comments in Hacker News regarding the last breaking change.
Well, not really about Hacker News. A lot of that stuff was just kind of generic. I wish Jason would do not Jason, but which JSON would do some things that it doesn't do. Like Jason pointed out that there's always inevitably a comment about JSON not supporting comments, which is not something that we control. So you kind of have to throw out that entire thread. A lot of the stuff in there didn't seem like they really read the article, more like they just kind of skimmed through it and picked out stuff to complain about. I did try to explain the reasoning behind our decision as much as possible, and I tried to pull from our discussions that we've had in GitHub and whatnot. But primarily what I wanted to talk about was the still kind of supporting unknown keywords discussion, which is linked there. Looks like a prefix is probably going to be our best solution going forward. It seems what everybody of what's proposed there, it seems to be what everybody is gravitating toward. The X dash prefix that are used in a lot of HTTP headers was proposed, and I think Jason, you submitted that it's not really desired or promoted anymore because people would put those things up as experimental things, and then it would catch on, and you just have to stick with it anyway. An idea was to use that kind of dash idea with a as a name spacing opportunity. I think that I like the idea of name spacing, which can be discussed elsewhere. But I think that particular syntax of having the namespace and then a dash and then whatever your keyword is interferes with or collides with the kebab casing. So of just spacing out your words with dashes, which we don't do for our keywords, but other people might want to do that. I think the leading proposal has been like an @ symbol in front. I listed out several other options for symbols because @ might collide with some things. We have $, we should definitely reserve for keywords. I've got an issue for that. It's linked in the discussion. The @ symbol, which I discussed. There's the exclamation mark or the bang. I don't think that I've seen that anywhere, and it kind of highlights the pay attention to this nature of these SVA keywords. There's a pound symbol or hashtag. Jason pointed out that hashtag is used for comments in a lot of languages. I think that might actually be an advantage for us because we can say, don't process this as a keyword, collect its value. I don't know. That might be twisting that comment around a little bit. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's maybe it's not quite a comment because you can't completely ignore it. So.
Yeah, that's what the $comment keyword is for, just completely ignore.
Yeah.
And then star also. I just looked at the top row of my keyboard and said which of those symbols would work well. Find easily typable ones. Star works well, but it does have regex collision, and some of our, like if you look at pattern properties, for example, you can end up with keys that have stars in them, and that could be confusing. So we have options. I think we're really good at coming up with options. I think now we just need to make a decision on what we want to do. Almost if we should have a committee for this. So, but yeah, that's where we are right now. I honestly don't really have much of an opinion as to what we do. I just want us to do something.
Yeah, I agree that we're pretty much at the point where we need to move to, I think, a more formal proposal of,
Okay.
of like wording and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. In the last meeting, I did ask Austin to see if he could find all the unknown keyword language and remove that. I understand Austin's lacking on free time to be able to do such things. I haven't seen a PR for that yet. I kind of want that to go through before we then add this back in. Jeremy likes the bang.
I mean, I don't know that I like it or not, but
Yeah. Jeremy's got a mic. He's got a setup.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I like it or not, but I mean, just an idea to look at the CSS spec language, just to kind of see like how they called it out and their usage of it, because, you know, things like, you know, bang important or whatever.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how much they actually use it for any other keywords, but everybody loves the important keyword, so.
I think this is almost the opposite though. It's we're saying like this is not important. It's not going to affect validation. So
Yeah, it's annotated only.
contextual.
Okay, I mean, I guess it depends on the keyword, right? Like, I mean, if they're using, I don't know if they use it with anything else other than important, but you know, just if we're gonna say like, you know, bang, I don't know, whatever the keyword you guys are looking for, but bang comment, for instance, or whatever. You know, it doesn't have to be bang important, but it's just calling out that this is kind of like a usage, I guess. I don't know. I've never really looked at the CSS spec language, so
Yeah.
I thought it might be interesting to take a look at that.
All right. Well, short of Austin coming up with the PR to take out the unknown keywords language, I can work on something for the way the spec is now.
Do we think we have enough of consensus to go with the @ prefix, or do we want to do like some sort of consensus gathering vote of some sort?
Do we want to, alternatively, do we
Yeah.
want to have just write up something with like a placeholder character? Like I can write it up with @ and
Oh,
then
for sure. Yeah.
then we can, you know, discuss, well, you know, maybe hash would work better or bang or something. And then we can just do a replace in the spec.
Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah, that wouldn't hold it up. But I do think we're kind of at the point, I think, where now we need to say like we know we want to we want to use a prefix. Let's decide on one.
Okay.
And not drag it out much more, because I don't think it really matters in the end what the prefix is.
Yeah.
Do you think this would benefit from being written up as a decision record, just to sort of collate the various options that have been considered and explaining why we've gone for the prefix?
Yeah, possibly. I think I'd like to have something a little bit more concrete on the specific symbol for that we use for an ADR, other than this seems to work.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been opposed to, like, I would be opposed to using $ because we reserve it for core keywords, and I think using that @ symbol may confuse with JSON LD. And I think, you know, given that we want to signal that it isn't something that the validation process should be concerned with necessarily, or like this thing is not going to affect your validation, the hash seems like a pretty, like, if there was going to be an intuitive symbol to use, it feels like hash would be it. Because, you know, it's comments for other things, it's comments for your tooling further down the chain. Is the way that it makes me think, and that's the first time I've seen that proposal. I haven't been following this, so looking at that and seeing that hash symbol and thinking that it's, you know, for comments, it kind of makes sense to me that would, well, that's the only one that has a logical reason for being that one as opposed to any of the others.
I disagree, because I think that a comment means it should be ignored, and this is specifically something that needs to be captured as an annotation, not ignored.
In a purely validational context, though, it is ignored.
True. But JSON schema is for annotation as well as validation. sort
I
of.
wonder if there would be implications. I mean, I don't. What's the processing model for something like JSON 5? Would it conflict in that sort of use case of would it be required to be encoded in JSON 5? Would it have any impact?
It shouldn't have any impact because it's encoded as part of the JSON string. So it
Yeah.
shouldn't be confused with a comment. I'm not even sure JSON 5 allows for a hash comment. Or if it's
I have no idea. It's been
I'm-
ages since I've looked at that. So
I'm looking at it now and it's double slash comments.
okay, well, yeah, completely disregard that then.
All right.
I like the @ symbol because that's what most languages use for annotations. I think that would be straightforward. I'm less concerned about the being confusing with JSON LD.
Just out of curiosity, how does it conflict with JSON LD?
It doesn't actually have any conflict. It's just that it might look like JSON LD and confuse people.
Oh, because they use @ as their core keywords.
Right.
Oh, because they have to be different. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, maybe this would be a good opportunity to make use of our contacts in QLang, the people that are doing Q, and see if they think that is the case as well. I mean, obviously, I say it looks similar to JSON LD, but I don't actually use JSON LD, and Jason has experience using JSON LD and more of this stuff, and he wouldn't find it confusing. So yeah, I'm more likely to incline towards what Jason's saying than what I'm saying on that respect.
What you could do, since it's an annotation, so you could put the dollar schema. So we reload JSON LD here. You could put the dollar schema and have the JSON schema out there. You could have ID and have a dollar ID and have it for a JSON schema ID. But then you could also have an @ context for JSON LD and an @ ID for JSON LD, and then just process the same file under two different processors. That would be weird.
Yeah, you could. It would be very weird. Yeah, but you could.
It could be seen as an effort to unify.
I mean, it
Right
sounds
now.
it sounds like there are no strong oppositions to using the @ symbol, so I would suggest going with that initially and seeing if we get any pushback from anywhere else.
Hey, Benjamin, how responsive are your surveys?
Not as much. I mean, with the previous consultation we did, the big response came from Hacker News. What we did in social media, I don't know how many responses we had.
Okay.
6 to 10 maybe, and in Slack, I don't remember, but around that. So you can. This is my impact, like 5 to 10, but Hacker News was like the big response. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why. I can't imagine why, but
Yeah. The downside with Hacker News is you have to sift through all the stuff that's not related to what you asked. Yeah, I think it might be worth just putting out a survey and seeing what kind of response we get, and just list probably just those three: the @ the bang, and the hash, and see what people come back with. Maybe also have an other where people can say what other ideas they have, like the X dash or whatever. I don't know.
yeah. the thing is, I didn't push it as much with my previous consultation. Was just one single message and that's it. So we can try like 1 week when I can set a different reminders at different time zones to see if I can get more response. So yeah, I work on that. I take the action item to prepare a survey. Is going to be just one single question with the 3 main options and allowing the people to provide different alternative. We'll review together the responses. Maybe we can leave 1 week, right? So at least 1 week for people to reply.
Yeah.
Okay. I will probably ask for your feedback, Greg, with the text and everything to make sure that the question is the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and wherever we put this, if we're putting it on Twitter, definitely reach out to the OpenJS Foundation for amplification. We don't always see huge engagement, but on specific issues like this, we might get a few people that bite and are interested in responding.
And what might be the best way to reach out to them? Like a message asking them to reshare my message, or mentioning them in the message? What do you suggest?
I would send them a message on the Slack. I'll send you. I'm not sure which. There is a PR marketing channel, and if you just ask for amplification and share the tweet, then they usually are happy to do that. I'll send you a link to that channel, or I'll add you to that channel.
Yeah. I can get started working on changes on the document, the spec. In between my trying to write JSON path spec stuff.
Okay. Any other comment? We don't have more topics in the agenda, so this is the moment to add anything else if someone wants. Nothing? Okay, so I think that we are free to go. I would like to thank Jeremy and Agnives for joining today. It's great to see more people in the meeting, so thank you very much. I hope you don't get we didn't bore you too much with those discussions about unknown keywords, symbols, and stuff.
No, no worry.
But okay. So let's close then. Thank you very much. See you next week, and let's continue the discussion.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Have a good evening, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
I hope,
Bye.
yeah, this video is going to be in YouTube tomorrow or the day after. So yeah, we will become famous together. another bad joke in English. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.